Hey everyone, this is going to be perhaps one of my favorite topics of the year. And let's welcome Anna to the show first. How you doing, Anna?
I'm great today, Michael.
All right. So we just had a conversation about legacy with our both where our fire was forged when we were growing up, our legacy for our kids. But now I want to talk about what you and I have a special passion for, and that is others. How we are choosing to deploy significant hours, which are things we will never get back
Right.
into helping others. You
For
spend, for
sure.
example, an hour a week with me giving back. That's just one of many things you do. I know you have many vehicles and many avenues for this, but I know it's a passion of yours. So why? I mean, why would somebody take precious hours of their day and give back like this?
Yeah. Oh, Michael, I think, I really believe that we are on this earth to love other people and to help other people, love and know God and love and help other people. Like that's pretty much the two things that drive me and that I believe are really important. So when it's all said and done, when I'm gone and, who knows when that might be, hopefully it's like another 50 years, but
Exactly.
we never know how much time we have on this earth. And,
Mhm.
having a net worth and a bank account and kids and a nice house, none of that really lasts, right?
Mhm.
And so what do we want to be known for and what impact do we want to make on people? And if we can take with great anytime we have resources, I think we have a responsibility to use those resources well and to help others. And
Mhm.
so if I can impact another little girl that was raised in the projects like me and help them to figure out how to escape poverty and how to master money so that it doesn't master them, to how to get out of poverty mentality. If I can help another single mom or working mom to create a little passive income that creates financial freedom that she can spend time with her kids, that's important to me. If I can go into an apartment complex that I own and I can make a difference in the lives of one of my tenants, I can give them, a book on budgeting, a Dave Ramsey book on here's how you, just master your money, initially and budget, or give them one rental at a time, teach them how to buy rental property. The best thing I could have someone do is go, I'm moving out because I'm buying a house because you showed me the ability to do that, or to house hack. Those are the kind of things that really create lasting impact on people's lives so that they can go out and show someone else and inspire someone else. And so it's just super important to me to be able to do that and make an impact on people.
Yeah, it's amazing how we see the world the same way. And frankly, I got to be honest, I wasn't always there. I mean, for probably the first 40 years of my life, it was very me or maybe us, right? Us meaning family.
Right.
Because I was just trying to get through it, right? I was trying to
Yeah.
get there. But at some point, I don't remember when it was, but it's clearly a couple of years ago, I really had this epiphany that um, I want to leave this place better than I found it.
Yeah.
And the way I'm going to do that is to help some people, dozens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s have a better financial future.
Right.
And, and thus the goal I think we talked about way back when was I want to create stuff that outlives me by 50 years.
Right.
So not only be impactful, like you said, hopefully the next 50 years, but I'm going for the extra 50, right?
Right.
So whether that's the book, this channel, the office in Fresno, whatever it is, that's I spend far more time thinking about that stuff, making it scalable. Like, I don't know about you, but people ask me all the time, "Hey, can I ask you questions, right? Can we do this or do that?" My response now is only if we can record it on Zoom,
Yeah.
because the questions we get are 17 flavors of the same thing, but
Right.
they're important to that person. So now I record them and then I upload them later in their day so other people can consume them,
Right,
right? So
exactly. Yeah.
those are
And I
those are
think,
important things.
to your point, like early on in our lives, we're just trying to survive. Let's create our income and then let's buy a house and then let's take care of our kids. And it's like you get in the grind and, the rabbit trail where you're just the
Mhm.
hamster wheel,
Yeah.
where you're just, doing what you can to get by. And so you want to give back and you find little ways to do it. But once you get to a place where, you're financially free, one, because you've got the time to be able to do it. and you
Yeah.
create the means, to be able to do it, it becomes much more easy to do it. And then you really don't have an excuse not to give back. Like, we all can choose to give back, or just hoard all of our time and our knowledge and
Yeah.
whatnot. And it's so much better, to invest in other people than to just be me focused all the time. It just is.
Well, I got to tell you, it is, um, it just is. I don't know why it is, but now, like when I hear a student buy a house, I get more excited for them than when I
Oh,
do one. I'm like, like, okay, I just put another one or whatever, right? It's just, it
right,
just that utility or whatever, that high you get from seeing others take that first step and knowing you had just a little part of it.
right.
I'm addicted to that. It can't be
Yeah.
replaced.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's amazing to see lives changed. When I sat back and started to think about, maybe a year before I knew I was going to be able to retire, I started thinking about, well, what am I going to do with my daytime hours now? Because, I got in this to be home with my kids. Well, by the time that it worked out, my kids are all in school. So now I'm like, okay, from, 8 until 3 o'clock every day, my hours are going to be my own. What am I going to choose to work on?
Mhm.
And from the beginning, I knew it was going to be invest in other people and coach and teach financial freedom, the way that I did it, and how to navigate, the economy and still continue to build wealth through rental property. And then the second thing was, I really wanted to continue to build legacy wealth for my family, so continue to buy properties. And then the third thing was, I wanted to be able to figure out a way to invest in apartment communities in such a way that I'd be able to put some time and resources and community connections into really giving back and making an impact on the lives of those people in my apartment buildings. So
Mhm.
we think about our cash on cash, and we need max rents, and we renovate things, and tenants have to move out, and then you bring in wealthier tenant class. It's like, well, what happens to those tenants? And
Yeah.
so I've always wanted to be able to have enough coming in that I could make philanthropic type decisions that, maybe for this apartment complex, I don't try to kick out all the tenants. I try to just make it nicer, create a return on investment, but also focus on how can I make a return on my time and return in the lives of the people in my community. How can I maybe bring people from the community that will take an empty apartment unit and use it to mentor kids,
Mhm.
or use it to do after school tutoring? How can I, maybe have people come in from the community and teach job skills and computer skills and Excel or Word,
Mhm.
to single moms, help them to create a resume. So it's
Awesome.
those types of things that are super important to me. And while I've thought about that for a really long time, to your point earlier, I never had the time to do it because I was so busy just trying to create the financial freedom and raise my kids and work, that I didn't get to take that time to do it. So as soon as I retired, it's like, that's what I want to do. So it's just now a year and a half in that I'm really starting to take the steps to be able to really take that dream and make it a reality. So one of the things you and I've talked about that I'm just officially, getting ready to launch is my new capital raising brand, which is Greater Purpose Capital. And the reason I called it Greater Purpose Capital is because it's a reminder to me that everything I do has a greater purpose. And if I can create returns for my investors, just like any other syndicator buying apartment communities, why can't I take a tiny sliver of that return? And maybe instead of offering a 15 to 16 IRR, it's a 14.9% to 15.9% IRR. But I take that, 0.1%, and I use that by freeing up an apartment
Yeah.
unit and not having that as an income producing unit, but to use it to give back to the community. Or
Hmm.
how can I take a piece of what I make on those returns and put it back into the complex to have movie nights for the kids, or have a cash flow for kids night where I teach the kids in the apartment complex, learn about assets and liabilities, to give them just that spark of information that they'll never get in their school system or from their parents because they don't know any better. So Greater Purpose Capital and launching that is something I'm so excited about, because I know that I'll be able to bring in investors who also want to do good with their investment dollars, and not just, I'm investing in Netflix because it's going to make me a lot of money, but I'm investing in apartment community. And while they may not have the time or the knowledge or the resources to invest in the lives of the people, they can invest in projects with me where they know we're going to be making an impact on their dollars. And that's something that investors can feel good about. And I can feel good about, our property management staff can feel good about, that really can create that legacy that, Michael, if one person, I may not even learn about it, but if one kid learns from that or gets inspired from that and gets out of poverty, there's nothing greater that I could do.
I have a prediction. In the next 10 years, your name is going to be attached with Greater Purpose Capital, right? You'll have your own personal resume and the thing that you're known for most. Right now, it's REI Mom, right? That's probably the
Yeah.
thing that most people know you as. I believe that's going to be trumped by Greater Purpose Capital because
Yeah.
you're on the right path. I believe most investors want to have an impact, right? Impact investing is a thing.
Right.
And when you communicate that honestly up front, I don't think you're going to get, a 0.1% discount in IRR. It wouldn't shock me if it's more like 0.5% because
Yeah.
others want that as well. And if it's
Right.
as you do, you communicate that up front, it will be part of your prospectus. It'll be part of the return. It just won't be dollars. It'll be emotional return. And that's
Exactly.
amazing.
Yeah. And what I really suspect, Michael, is that overall the properties actually do better because if you can create community
Yes.
and people are excited to live in that apartment complex and tell their friends, come live in this apartment complex because while we're working, they care about our kids and they have programs. I think your occupancy goes through the roof and you have a wait list.
And your
And so
turns
that,
go down.
that
Yep.
pro forma that says 8% vacancy becomes zero because when people see that they're creating community and they live in a community and they're not scared for what's happening to their kids before they get home, like my mom was with
Mhm.
us,
Oh yeah.
I think that turns communities around and it brings excitement and joy in the community. And then they want to stay living in that apartment complex. So I think the returns actually end up much better than a discounted return because you're really making an
I
impact
agree.
in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I know this is early. I don't know if there's anything out there just yet, but if anybody wanted to read up on Greater Purpose Capital, where could they go now or perhaps go in a few days or weeks?
Sure. So I do have a website, which is greaterpurposecapital.com. That's the best place to find me, or you can email me at anna@greaterpurposecapital.com for more information.
Oh, this is awesome. Anna, well, thank you very much for being a part of this 3-part series today, and we will talk to you next Wednesday.
Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Yep, you too.